Now this is impressive. A flagship smartphone with 5000 nits of peak brightness, an incredible camera setup including a variable aperture and 180 megapixel periscope telephoto with a beefy battery. This sounds like magic. This is Honor's latest flagship, the Honor Magic 6 Pro. I've been testing this out for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm going to talk to you about it in this video. Now first things first, Honor include a fair bit inside the box for this region, so you get this practical see-through plastic case, you get the charging cable, and check this out, in this region we get 100-watt Honor Supercharge right in the box. Now when it comes to design, the Honor Magic 6 Pro looks and feels like a refinement from the brand, and you can see in the hand here, in this particular color that I have, it's kind of this green pastel color which has this faux leather on the back. It does look incredibly premium and it feels premium in the hand as well. You've got very good build quality throughout with the USB-C, the speakers down at the bottom and at the top, and curvature all throughout, both on the back and on the front display. Now I'll talk more about that display, but what I will say is that in the hand, it looks and feels very, very nice. And I love how they finished this off on the camera bump at the back. Now for such a premium looking device, you might assume that this is quite fragile, but that isn't the case because Honor have added an IP68 water and dust rating to this. They've also added something called Nano Crystal Shield on the front, and that basically helps reduce the impact from shocks, from drops, and also from scratches. And they had an MWC on their booth, a big kind of demo of this, the Nano Crystal Shield held up against another flagship device display really, really well. Now talking of display, this is probably one of the best displays that I've handled in 2024 so far. It is punchy, it is vibrant, it is really, really good at an overall display experience. You've got thin bezels throughout. It does curve over, which I would have liked to see a flat display, but despite that, it does a very, very good job in day-to-day handling. One of the other things about this is the fact that it is one of the highest in terms of peak brightness displays that you can currently get out there, which is great for us here in the Middle East. This display, having everything packed into it, does also have a bunch of eye-specific software tweaks that can help prevent some of the eye strain that comes from a display that is as vibrant as this. Interesting thing about this display is at the top. See that kind of cutout capsule? Honor are calling it the Magic Capsule. But what is interesting here is inside it contains a TOF or time of flight camera. And essentially what this does is gives you another layer of security when it comes to facial recognition. But another feature of that, which is very helpful, is incorporated in the software with Magic OS, and that is essentially eye tracking. So the ability, if you've got your hands busy, to be able to interact with certain notifications that come up there. Again, this was demoed at MWC. It's going to be rolled out on Magic OS. Now coming back to software, so a big feature of the Honor Magic 6 Pro is right out of the box, you get Android 14. It also runs Magic OS 8.0, and there was a big focus on AI in the announcement in Barcelona. One of the big features that I like about this is something called Honor Magic Portal. And the way it works is basically using AI to make things a lot more easier in terms of day-to-day tasks. So as you can see here on both sides, you have this kind of portal area, what Honor are calling Honor Magic Portal, and I can select this image and then with one swipe decide what I want to do with it. For example, add it to a notes or send it to WhatsApp or send it to Instagram. Now, before I talk about the all-important new camera system on the back, let me just address performance. This is powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. So compared to last year, Honor are saying that it's about a 35% improvement in CPU, 25% improvement in GPU. You're gonna get nice and smooth experiences throughout. I haven't noticed any issues with multitasking, with sort of video editing. I was using a lot of CapCut here to test out the camera, the video. It performed very, very well throughout. Also with gameplay, with the cooling system in here, you can expect really good quality gameplay, higher refresh rates as well, and all of that done without impeding on the overall performance and also the battery life. Battery life I'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, this new Falcon camera system on the back, very interesting. Falcon camera system is made up of 3 very good cameras on the back. To begin with, you get a 50 megapixel for the main. Now what's interesting here is that you have a variable aperture. So it goes from f1.4 to give you that nice bokeh effect to the f2.0. So the second camera is also 50 megapixel for the ultra wide. And the third camera is interesting. It's a 180 megapixel periscope telephoto. And what that means is you also get 2.5x optical zoom. Now this will go all the way up to 100x zoom, but as you can see from some of these examples, it does come out quite blurry and really not very usable. But what I would say is in my testing, anything up to about 10x zoom does produce really good results. You get good color accuracy, there's good dynamic range, and altogether good shots that you can use. So here's a test of the video using the rear camera. It's quite cloudy today and there's a lot of cloud in the sky, but walking around should give you an idea of how it performs with video. There's also a really cool feature to turn off the noise reduction in the background. So if you're in a noisy place, lots of cars, lots of people around you, you can actually activate that as well. But as I walk around, as I pan around, it should give you some idea of how it performs with video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think it does a pretty decent job. One of the other benefits of recording with the Honor Magic 6 Pro is you can actually zoom while recording. So that's at 2x, taking it up to 2.6x, and you can go all the way in, oops, a bit bumpy, at 10x, and obviously pull out at ultra wide as well. Really handy feature to have. That front facing selfie video, 50 megapixel. I feel like here it's a bit more washed out, but there you do have the ability to, as I've cropped it out, and then you can crop it back in at 1x. So it does give you the option of both of them. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, that battery life, I mentioned this at the beginning, 5,600 milliamp hour battery, which translates to incredible battery life. I have struggled to completely rinse the battery out on this. It's lasted me easily a day and a half, and I think for most users, it will last almost 2 days, depending on your use. Now, another interesting point, reverse wireless charging is supported with this. It also has 66 watt Honor wireless charging, but you do need a separate setup for that. In the box in this region, we get the 100 watt Honor supercharge brick, which means that you're going to get super fast charging. I was getting between 0 to 50% in around about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and that translates into an overall solid battery life experience with this. All in all, this is a very, very good offering. It's a flagship offering from Honor. And I think if you factor in, as I mentioned, the camera, the display, the battery life, all of these make for an important consideration when you're thinking about a flagship. And Honor really have set the bar quite high with this. All the pricing information for this region will be down below. It's now official. I think if you're in the market for an Android-powered smartphone, Honor and Honor's Magic 6 Pro is certainly worth considering if that fits your bill with the pricing and those three important things that stand out. Also, from the AI perspective, it's really cool to see Honor making a focus on this. Let's see what they come up with the future iterations of Honor Magic. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out some other cool videos here on the side, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm M. Kwan. Peace and blessings.